Boys, we are so back. Finally, after 8 long years, the wait is over. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is out. I've been playing it non-stop pretty much all afternoon on launch day. My physical copy arrived and I still had some work to do, and then I dove in and I haven't stopped playing it, but I'm stopping just long enough to kind of come in and give you my first few hours of gameplay feeling, what I love about it, and why I think it is absolutely worth the wait. I saw some reviews are like, I can't recommend this game. I'm like, what are you, like, you have a mental problem? Seriously? You can't recommend this game? Like, sure, they're like little nitpicks here and there, of course. There's going to be with anything in life, but really? You can't recommend? This game is incredible. I'm just going to say that right out of the gate. This game is incredible. It's amazing to just be thrown right back into this world again, playing as Samus, and that first reveal. I'm just the opening cinematics of this game and that music, and then when Samus's craft lands and she jumps out for the first time and that music hits, it's like, it's like that warm blanket. I am back, baby. I am so back. So let's just go through a couple of my first impressions and kind of want to take you through a couple of the things here that really stand out to me. Right out of the gate, I just want to say, like, if you're watching gameplay footage on YouTube and you're thinking like, maybe it doesn't look as good as I thought it would look, 4K 60, maybe it doesn't. No, I'm telling you, once you see it on an OLED television, YouTube does not do this game any justice at all. I honestly think this is the best and most polished and most beautiful Nintendo game that, frankly, Nintendo has ever created. And I'm even saying that as a fan of, like, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. I think the visual design here, the art direction in this game is the best that Nintendo has ever done. Just the planets, the different biomes, these, like, I don't know, vacuous rooms that you're in with these aliens. All of it. The sound design is fantastic. I have it playing on surround sound too, and just to hear the sort of cavernous experience of being in these large rooms and hearing things echoing and bouncing off the walls. It really is, I think, top-notch. I think Retro Studios, of course, the developer behind the game, has done an unbelievable job. We all know what they're capable of if you played Metroid Prime Remastered. The work that they've done is just top-notch. So, with having said that, let's just dive into some of the things that I'm just blown away with here. Again, first out of the gate, that opening cinematic, being thrown right into battle right away. No fooling around. You've got all your powers. You can morph ball bomb, you can double jump, you can do all of those things, right? Charge attack, charge beam attacks, everything. Fire your missiles, and you're taking out all of these different space pirates and different aliens that are making up this battle that you're sort of thrust into to kind of protect these people. And don't worry, I'm not going to give any big spoilers because I'm not terribly far in the game anyway, but I just want to sort of set the scene for you a little bit. But then again, once that spacecraft lands and Samus jumps out and you're like, oh my gosh, let's do it. Let's get into this. And your first boss battle is like typical of a Metroid Prime game. Within the first few minutes, you're fighting like a big boss. And then, of course, everything is going to change. You know how this goes with Metroid games. You have all your powers and you're going to lose all your powers. We all know that. That's always the way it goes. And nothing's different here. You're going to experience all of that. What's different about this game, though, obviously we're dealing with... I just want to say this. We think about Metroidvanias, right, where... What's the definition of a Metroidvania? It's going someplace, noticing that I can't quite get there just yet because I need some power upgrades and I'm going to have to backtrack quite a bit, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And in my experience so far, I almost would say that this is not a Metroidvania. I know it's kind of crazy to say that. It's a Metroid game. There's a little bit of backtracking that I've uncovered, but mostly with this hub world, you're not having to go back, and you're sort of in a more linear path than you were in other Metroid Prime games and other Metroidvanias and other Metroid games like Metroid Dread, where you're having to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Or think like Hollow Knight, right? You're constantly going back to these areas because you just don't have the double jump yet. You just don't have the ability to break that wall. And this is different. And maybe it's a way to kind of bring more people into the genre because, again, one of the most frustrating things about any Metroidvania is the amount of backtracking you have to do. So maybe this is a Nintendo attempt here to try to bring more people into the Metroid genre. make it bigger. Because at the end of the day, these games don't usually sell as well as certainly, you know, like Animal Crossing or Mario Kart or Super Mario Brothers or any of those games. It always sells less. So maybe this is like Nintendo's way of maybe making it a little bit more accessible for people, and maybe the same way that like Monster Hunter Wilds tried to create a little bit more accessibility for people to enter into the Monster Hunter universe this year. I don't know. And again, I'm only a few hours into it, so we'll see as this game unfolds. But let's talk about the visuals, the atmosphere. They are absolutely top notch. I've already taken a whole bunch of notes here, so I'm putting on my spectacles so I can read all my notes here. The game delivers, again, stunning art direction, absolutely beautiful. The planet of Vuros feels alive. It's sort of like teeming with life, all the different plants. Of course, when you're getting to the Green Fury area, it's just beautiful. It's immersive, and I love the music. So you've got this like beautiful, beautiful score to this game, and reminds me of like when you get to Green Fury, this beautiful lush area. Reminds me a little bit of like Fernandina Drifts from Metroid Prime. Of course, one of my favorite songs, I guess you could say, scores of an area in any Metroid game. The beautiful snowy scene, of course, in Metroid Prime, the first one. But, you know, very nice piano music that's playing through this. It just has like that haunting vibe to it. It's like a little disquieting. It's a little haunting if you know you feel lonely on this alien world. But it is beautiful. The mechanical animations, the lighting effects here are just gorgeous. I'm sure Digital Foundry will have done their deep dive on the lighting effects and everything about this game. I think they already have, actually. But anyway, I loved it. As a casual, you know, I'm not like a tech specs kind of guy. I just want to play a great, beautiful game, and they have absolutely hit a home run here. Plus, why do you want to play Metroid Prime? Like, why do you want to play this game? You want to play it because it's familiar, right? The reason we want to play number 4 in the series is because we want that Metroid Prime gameplay. We want the mechanics. We want the visuals. We want that similar ability to, the first-person action gameplay. And guess what? It feels smooth. It feels familiar. You know, retains all of the lock-on ability that you had in other games, the shooting, the exploration, the platforming thing, jumping, you know, all of that. All of the roots of this game are the same. They're familiar. And like I said, it's like putting on a nice warm blanket. By the way, which is what I did because we had a big snowstorm today, and I have one of those heated blankets that I plug in. You know, I got from Costco last year. It's probably the greatest thing that I've ever bought for myself. Even better than any gaming device is my heated blanket that I can plug in. I absolutely love it. Anyway, so sitting there playing Metroid under my heated blanket with a snowstorm outside. It's like, this is the stuff, right? This is the stuff that we dream of. So let's talk about level design. Beautiful locations are really immaculately structured, as always, guiding you through objectives while also like hiding some secrets, right? Can you go over in this little nook and cranny and find something hidden there? There's reasons to come back also with some of your abilities. So while I said doesn't feel like a full Metroidvania because we have this hub world and all of that, it does still require you to come back and, you know, unlock some things once you get some new abilities to be able to break through something or whatever. Again, we have this sort of diverse locations as well, so you're not just locked into some lush green area. We have the floating motorcycle factory, which is pretty crazy with lightning storms everywhere. Kind of, you know, really, really cool, actually. It's very unsettling to like snowy areas. You have the dark mines areas. You have the beautiful lush green areas in this game. So I'm going to just try to show you not too much of all of this. Like, I want you to figure this out and see it for yourselves. So I'm going to really try to show the gameplay that I'm showing here to just early, very, very early gameplay, okay? Up through like Green Fury and just like a little bit. But I just don't want to ruin it for you. I want you to experience these things for yourself, because I remember the feeling that I got the first time I ever walked into Fernandina Drifts and that music hits and I see this like snow world. I'm like, what is this? I want you to see that for yourselves. You know, I want you to experience those things for yourselves. They've also thrown in some new things, which obviously freshen up this game. We've got this new psychic powers, which is adding some nice variety to that game. You can remote control of the like control beam, things like that, to help you solve puzzles and go through combat. So there's some new twists on some classic abilities here. Also the scanning, of course, you'll remember from Metroid Prime 1, of course, scanning is important. Like if you really want to like complete the game, 100% that game, you got to scan everything, right? You got to scan everything, every little statue, every little nook and cranny, every little plant, every little, enemy, if you can, try to scan them before you go into battle. It'll also show you some secrets. It's vital to show you some weak points on a boss, right? You're going to scan this boss so I can see where, I need to hit him in the stomach. Scanning here it's still a big part of it, but doesn't seem to be as prominent or as important as like Metroid Prime 1, for instance. Let me say this about this character, Miles, okay, who helps you. By the way, my son's name is Miles, so when I heard everyone kind of crapping on this character a few weeks ago before we actually got the real game, people are like, I don't want Miles to be constantly hanging out with me, like No, he's really like a tutorial character towards the beginning of the game, he's there for like 20 minutes or so. It doesn't seem to be that much of a big deal as you're going through the game, but maybe he comes back. Maybe he's like super annoying later in the game. But from what I'm experiencing, he's kind of really there to hold your hand a little bit in the beginning, and then that's it. So don't crap all over Miles. It's a great name, but don't worry too much about this guy, because I think a lot of people were concerned, oh my God, this is going to take me out of the immersion of feeling alone and isolated on this planet if I had this guy Miles who's constantly walking next to me, giving me tips and tricks and stuff like that. So no one wants that. But I can see what Nintendo is doing here. It's like they're trying to make this game, they're trying to like make Metroid more accessible. They're trying to sell more games at the end of the day. They're trying to bring in new players. I'll tell you, I handed the game to my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter, while we were driving back I was picking her up from dance class, and I'm like, Metroid came out today. She's like, oh yeah. And I handed it to her so she could play it for a minute. She's like, kind of lost. And she was getting a little car sick. She's like, I'm not really quite sure what am I doing here? So I could see how they'd want to maybe bring in a whole new audience by walking people through some of these mechanics in the tutorial. I don't have a problem with that. I want more people to love Metroid. I want more people to play Metroid. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's the first game that I ever beat on the NES, so I have a special place in my heart for this game in this genre. Overall, what makes a Metroid game, a Metroid Prime game, great? It's the immersion, right? You're behind the mask. You're exploring, right? It's the exploration. And it's the ambiance of this environment. They absolutely nail the three most important things with Metroid Prime. Then we can nitpick some of the other things. There's some collectathon stuff, getting these green crystals. Okay, that might hurt some purists. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I don't mind doing a few little collectathon things as long as I can stay in this game longer, okay, I get it. But at the heart of it is the isolation, the exploration, and the ambiance of this sci-fi dread. It's got like a dreadful feeling, kind of the whole time, right? And that feeling. And that's what's so impressive and so important about the Metroid experience. It has to feel kind of dreadful. Hell, they named a game after that word, Metroid Dread. Because you're not going to have like a pleasant hangout time. There's no like Resident Evil 4 area where you're hanging out with a typewriter just to kind of catch your breath. Yes, you have a save room. Yeah. But even that's not even there's even enemies in save rooms, right? So it's not the most pleasant experience. You want to have that ambiance, and that's what they really, really nailed here. It's a really satisfying sort of shoot 'em up style game loop of combat, the exploration, the puzzles, the abilities, they all loop together like in a smooth, really like cohesive experience that, in my experience, in the first few hours of gameplay here. I gotta be honest with you. I don't really care about the narrative. It's fine. It's fine as a backdrop, but that's not why I play these games. The lore, the whole story. Okay, if it's a little weak, it's a little weak. Look at Breath of the Wild, right? Again, it's the exploration, it's the adventure. Story, maybe a little weak. So they, shoehorn in a stronger story into Tears of the Kingdom. But at the end of the day, do I really care? Not really. I just want to play. I want to be Samus, and I want to go around and shoot some things. I want to explore. I want to upgrade. I want to find, go through this entire map. I want to play some big bad boss battles, and I want to win this game. So having said all that, guys, I'm saying the gameplay is absolutely fantastic. I'm having a blast with this. It's everything that I've wanted. I can't wrap my head around how someone would say that this is like a 6 out of 10 game. Like, what? What are you talking? You literally have to be one of those like clickbait rage people. Or they're like the people that you know that always complain about everything in life. You know those people, right? They just complain about everything in life and they don't really contribute anything to society. You know what I'm talking about. This game to me so far is easily a 9 out of 10. We'll see, if it ends up being like my game of the year by the time I'm done with it all. But right now, I could not have asked for anything more. So yes, physical copy, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Are you guys playing it? You planning to play it? I'm going to go back and play it right now. I just want to duck in for 10 minutes to say hi to all of you. Okay, I'm going to go. Thanks, everyone.